Welcome guys. Welcome to Daily Crypto Trading. Today we're going to do a TA of Bitcoin. Bitcoin have been in this ascending channel for quite some while and have trolled the bears and the bulls as well. Of course, this ascending channel is a bearish scenario for a downtrend. However guys, I am seeing bullish formation will impact the altcoin. Let's break it down and analyze. 80% who watch my channel are not subscribers, so consider to subscribe to the channel. It have a huge impact for my channel growth. And of course guys, join our Patroen if you want to. There's a lot of benefit by joining our Patroen with crypto news, DeFi news, sell, buy alert from bots in Discord. Go and check it out guys. The daily chart of Bitcoin, we clearly see the supply zone and the demand zone. We have an Elliott wave countdown to 5 down and an ABC zigzag formation right there. Also, like in previous I said, we had this barrier as you guys seeing right over here. Usually that is a bullish indicator. And guys, you know what? We did break out, as you guys see, had upside, but resistance was way too high. As you guys see right over here, there was way too much sellers ready to sell their Bitcoin. So the supply was higher than the demand, and of course we went down. There was pretty much some whales ready to sell right at this area because they knew a lot of people will buy an entry at this breakout, which we did. However, now we were in an ascending channel instead. Now, an ascending channel is of course a bearish channel, not the prettiest channel, but it is a channel that's telling us the higher probability for downside. So it's just been raging in this ascending channel. Now, if we go down, we might go even all the way down to 30,000 and 29,000. It is a possibility. However, guys, what I am seeing at the moment is a falling wedge, as you guys see in this ascending channel. As you see in the textbook 101 TA, we are seeing that it's forming in this range and just closer in to build up attention. However, before we get a confirmation, look at the yellow dot right here. We need to have a breakout in the daily, close it above it before and make a higher high before we have a confirmation. It's extremely important to understand, because if we do not close above it, make a higher high, we will go down to the downside instead. For that to happen, guys, we need one thing, and you know pretty much what it is if you follow my channel. That is volume. We need a lot of volume, a lot of demand, right? We need to have buyers and bulls in control to break this up for have some kind of upside continuation. And there are also some resistance ideas. The first resistance, which is the most important, is the breakout resistance at FIB level 0236, right? So the price about right over here, if we lock that, we need to go above that and stay above that. And then we have other resistance, which is also a key indicator of resistance. That is the FIB level 0382 with a 41,000 also. Once we are above that, we have a bigger bullish momentum to the upside, right? Because as you can see at the VBVR, we have a lot of activities right there. Again, this FIB level is the most important, 0236. We have to surpass it and break that for confirmation and hold it. As the VPV are telling us, there's a lot of sellers, a lot of buyers activities out there. Once we break that, we have this FIB level. As you guys see here, there's a lot of resistance also right over here, which is FIB level 05, so 50%, and we lock it. That is 43,000 in Bitcoin. Once we are above that, we are close to the golden ratio, right? This is a key indicator. This is a key resistance area we have to surpass. As you guys are seeing right over, there's a chunk of activities right over here. So keep an eye on the golden ratio. Let me just show it in the price label, guys. So around this area, right, we have to surpass it and hold it. These are the areas we have to look at for the resistance. So if we break out to the upside, we have to see if we surpass these resistance, because once we surpass these and we do a higher high, the trend switch to a bullish momentum, and we can also look for a continuation for that upside. If the bull managed to break this area, guys, we can see price all the way to 48,000. If, and I'm gonna keep saying if, all right, because this is only probability, no guarantee. If we break this trend line and break these resistance area, we can. If we do not break this and we get rejected, on the other hand, we will go back to level as 37,000, 35,000, potential to 30,000, guys. So be aware of that, alright? There's always a probability to the upside as well. A fast look at the 21, 30, 15, 200 SMA in the daily chart for Bitcoin. We are seeing that Bitcoin is getting rejected right over here, it broke down right over here. Now, this is a key indicator. I'm going to say key indicator all the time, but it's important to understand because BPVR are showing us there's a lot of resistance. The FIB levels are showing us there's a lot of resistance, and the SMA are showing us there's a lot of resistance. The bulls have to take control. We have to have more volume, more demand. If the supply is greater than demand, we get rejected and we go back to these levels. So if Bitcoin does not manage to go above the 21 SMA, 50 and 30 SMA and hold it as a support, guys, we will see more downside, alright? The probability and trend will switch to a bearish momentum, and this setup pretty much got invalidated. The SMA is important to understand, so if we do not manage to go above the 21 SMA, then we will most likely see a downside instead of an upside. Again, guys, remember we need volume from the bulls before we see any price action for breakout. This is important to understand, guys. We need volume, we need more bias. If you look at the RSI, we are below 50, and always, guys, that means we are in a downtrend. Are we above 50, then we are in an uptrend. We are, however, if you guys seeing this trend right here, right over here, this small part, we have a small hidden bullish diversion. Usually this means that we have some kind of support here, that we might see some upside. If you look at the RSI is telling us we're going down to the downside to the oversold area. Usually we have a bounce back, which also confirm a higher probability for a breakout. The MACD are showing the same. It is crossing over. It is turning to a bullish momentum, but this is crypto 101. You never know, guys. This is the wild wide world. Sometimes there are big whales out there with big buy orders just manipulating the price. Be aware of that. But if you look at the technical point of view, it is looking good for a breakout. We just need the volume to break out of this falling wedge. However, there's one scenario that can completely change the outcome of Bitcoin for the bulls. And before I break it down and analyze with the big outcome for the bulls run, a huge shout out to our today's sponsor, MEX Global Exchange. MEXC Global Exchange is a top 20 crypto exchange. It has derivative, spot, future trading. It has its own launchpad. It has 1 billion in volume, so high liquidity. It has more than 1 million visitors, and the best of all, guys, especially people who live in abroad and the US, it has no KYC. You don't have to send anything. You can already start within 5 minutes to trade in this platform, guys. This is a sponsor, so of course I have a special referral link where you guys get 10% trading fee discount by using the link provided down below, guys. Check it out and see if it's something for you. DXY, the US dollar currency index, can change everything for the bulls. If you've been following my channel, you know I made this last year, this TA, and have been religiously talking about this. This fallen wedge for the US dollar, this double V pattern, the double top, the double bottom, right? We did anticipate the first target will be around, and just look, it hit exactly this target around 96, and then we anticipated all the way to 103, and look, all the way to 103. Alright, now how can this be measured? Well, you can take your trend line all the way over here to this, and this is the bull flag, TA101, and then you can measure it by doing this, and look. Of course, this was also because of the policy of the Fed, and that the US dollar's value increased and Bitcoin value decreased, because Bitcoin and the US is of course correlated. So if the DXY goes up, Bitcoin goes down. If DXY goes down, like here, you guys see this is the start from the bull run when Bitcoin outperformed almost every commodity, every stock, everything. Of course, we will have a bull run. And look right over here, we are overextended, guys, now. Now, how can we see we are overextended? Well, we can take our FIB tool, since a trend-based FIB extension, all the way from the bottom right here, where we measured the bull flag, to the top, all the way to the bottom. And look, we are hitting 100%. We are overextended. Now we can get a bit more overextended to the FIB level 1, 2, 3 to $107. but we are in the RSI stock and the MACD way too overextended. We have to have a retracement for the US dollar. So every indicator, if you just zoom in, every indicator at the moment are telling us, look at the RSI, we are oversold. Look at the RSI stock, oversold. MACD, oversold. That we are overextending. Of course, that doesn't mean we can overextend a bit more, because we can. You can go to the 1236 fib level, 1.313 fib level as well and get overextended. It depends on the policy of the Fed, of course. I don't think we will, but again, there's a low probability, but the probability is there. Now the big question is what happened, because we need a retracement, right? Every time we hit a big resistance area, we need a retracement. Now what happened when we retrace and go back to this fib level and hold that support, right? Go back to the $100, something like that. Well, Bitcoin increased in value. So every time the DXY, the US dollar, decrease in value, Bitcoin increase. And every time the US dollar dumps heavy, we have a new bull run for Bitcoin. They are heavily correlated. The S&P 500 have not done well. As you guys see, we have been in a huge up run. I've been talking about this a lot and the correlation with Bitcoin. We have been on a bull run, but then we had a big dump and Bitcoin followed the S&P and the traditional market as well. However, fast look at it, guys. It is looking like we might turn, because I am seeing some bullish divergence. I'm seeing we are oversold and the MACD is turning. And we also have what we call an ABC. So usually in ABC, we get some resistance area right over here, as you can see the VPVR, but usually we have a reversal idea to the upside. But usually right after the ABC, there is one area you guys have to look at. Remember, this takes days before it's unfold, but it is the 449, because right over here, there's heavy resistance, the VPVR telling us, and the B level right over here. So we might get something like this. Let me show you. We either get something like this, right? Either something like this, a wave 5, more beautiful maybe, or we can get an ABC, something like this, all right? This is a possibility that we get a big jump to the upside in these few days, and then we dump down and try to go back to these levels, and then we have a big resistance area we meet pretty much. All right, this area is a key area, because if we continue to get rejected at this area, we will have a bigger dump to the downside. Fear and greed index are telling the sentiment at the moment that we are in extreme fear 24. We were also extreme fear yesterday and been fear pretty much for the last few months. All right. Besides last month, we had some greed when we broke up to the upside, as I've mentioned before in my video, guys. So people are buying at the top, selling at the low, and of course, selling all the Bitcoin to the whales. Guys, do not become that person. Have self-control, acknowledge your emotion, and use this indicator, all right? The fear we buy and the greed we sell. Understand it and learn it. If not, join our Patreon and I will try to cheat you guys. But remember, none of this is financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you invest in anything. Since you got to the end of this video, I assume you enjoyed it, so I recommend you to watch this next recommending video on the left corner. And as always, see you in the Discord server.